Lambert says, makes me sad that Imperator has so few unit models yet. Yeah, it is kind of a... It is really hard to compare a newer Paradox game to one that's been around for a while, just because it feels like there isn't much, you know, in it. Of course we're going to sacrifice the Scottish Bishop. Fantastic. Alright. I'm going to wait for the bloat modifier to kick in, and then we're going to go raiding. Because that's super appropriate. Morsels of food and clean-picked bones fly everywhere for the direction of Arnmond as he greedily stuffs himself with the delicacies served at the table. Suddenly his face turns a strange shade of green, and he rushes towards the exit, but only makes it far as Gothi Gudröder before he starts retching his stomach contents into poor Gudröder's lap. I think I've talked about this in previous streams before. This is another thing that CK2 kind of takes some creative liberties with. Certainly not in the 800s. I don't know if things might have changed a little bit by the 900s, but the Norse religion never really had a priest class. It was usually the chieftain's responsibility to oversee most of the religious aspects. There wasn't... Gothi it's kind of a weird term. In a lot of the sagas, it refers to like the leaders of each of the quarter courts in Iceland, who were more like they were more administrators than anything, but like in being administrators, they also had religious responsibilities. So certain modern revivals of the Norse religion that want to include a sort of a historical priestly class have decided to use the name Gothi, but it's not necessarily accurate to history, which, you know, modern paganism doesn't have to be. I mean, there's certain things that we don't bring back for a reason. There's certain new things that we come up with for a reason. But yeah, priestly class, ancient Norse religion wasn't really a thing. It was usually the chieftain's job. So, man, I should have done a freaking Norse CK2 series for Twitch and YouTube so long ago. Why am I an idiot? Yeah, let's go finish raiding. Cumbria. Feast is over, and with it the bloat. It will be at least 9 years until you can hold another one. Let's see. Flat terrain expert, rough terrain expert, mountain expert, winter soldier, obviously. Even though winter would be like one of the worst times to go raiding, because the North Sea in winter is not really somewhere you want to be. Even if you have a good Viking, like, big Draken ship, like, that's not really a good idea, typically. CK2 doesn't model naval weather, though. My marshal has told me about a remarkable armor smith. Let's bring him in. Let's see what he has to offer. Katie Cat, hello in the chat. Oh, Lambert says the yet was in reference to the groups that I am aware of not sacrificing humans yet. I hope it doesn't get to that point. Duke of Bad Decision says better late than never. I'm highly enjoying it. Well, I'm glad. I agree, but late is better than never. Let's see. So the war is over. It looks like it ended with a white peace. So we might just go ahead and declare a subjugation war on this guy. A set of armor, I see. An excellent choice, my king, says Master Einar, and calls forward an assistant cradling several set of armors. That's kind of impressive if he can cradle several sets of armor in his arms. This guy must have some like orangutan arms or something. One must determine what one need. Yeah, okay. Best armor you can. You know I'm good for it. I'll mortgage the realm. I'll go raiding. I'll pay it off. We'll do an installment plan. There are great riches to be won in the British Isles here. Cool. He's teaching my 11-year-old courtier how to be a blacksmith. That's wonderful for her. She's getting started early. That's, there's something to be said for that. And looks like the English are going to war with the people we're raiding right now, which is going to make them that much easier to raid. So I'll take it. Actually, look at this. The army of King Athelstan. Okay, interesting. Yeah, this is actually his royal army, I believe. I don't know if I can actually select them. But yeah, that's the army of King Athelstan. So they've arrived in Cumbria, and they see that Erik is here with his Vikings. And they're like, what are you doing, guys? And it's like, oh, you know, just raiding Berg. And they're like, oh, can we just hang out? Maybe, you know, swap some stories. Yeah, whatever happened to your brother who was fostered at my court? Oh, you know, it was so unfortunate. He fell into the ocean. It was a whole thing. Fantastic. So we got some splint mail armor. Katie Cat says, let's see. We go on the record that chemo fucking sucks and also go women's soccer. I agree with, I mean, I've never been through chemo, but I from what I've known from people who have, I don't dispute that. And women's soccer is a lot of fun to watch, so I agree with you both there. Einar is my son's middle name, says Lambert. Awesome. That's a badass name. I would name a kid Lambert, or not Lambert, Einar. Or yeah, Lambert's. I think that's an Anglo-Saxon name actually. I'd have to look that up. But Bert tends to come from Beracht, which is old German or Proto-German for bright. Let's see. Unsuccessful raid. Oh, did we not get the spoils? Oh, the English are... They're like, yeah, we're not going to let you take the money with you, though, so... That was kind of a waste of our time. Nindustrial says, yeah, World Cup. Duke of Bad Decisions. He ran into my axe. He ran into my axe 10 times. Yep, that's what happened. I told him to be careful. I mean, I was swinging my axe around like I do. I was like, hey, everybody, watch out. I'm swinging my axe around over here. And he didn't listen. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know, he was never the smart brother. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, he converted to Catholicism, so obviously there was something wrong with him. Lambert said I didn't know that about, yeah, Bert. Yeah, any name ending in Bert, that's a cognate to the English word bright. They come from the same old Germanic root word. Oh, there's smugglers in Hordaland. It's alright. We'll be able to pay our government soon. Be able to pay our, I guess they didn't have sheriffs in Scandinavia, but whatever our equivalent of sheriffs are, we'll be back with some gold. I know we've been handing out IOUs lately. Yeah, magistrates, peasants of Ross are disregarding my rule. I mean, they're Scots, so they probably don't particularly like us anyway. Lambert says, my name was just Erik or Axe until he got involved. Yeah. Yeah, Erik or Clean Axe. Yeah. Smugglers, of course. Katie Cat says, funny, my last CK2 game, my rival for the throne ran into a short sword 51 times. It really is tough, you know, when that happens. Bottle for... I'd rather teach him to be a winter soldier, because I'm usually going to be leading the center, and it doesn't really help to have two direct leaders in the same army. Fantastic. Generals like that who could stand against us. The Welsh are going to get destroyed. Oh, shit. One of our nephews is doing some conquering in Pomerania, so good for him. Getting that Baltic Empire energy started. We lost 62 men in that battle. That's a saga battle right there. There's a lot of battles in the sagas where it's like, oh yeah, we fought the English and they all fucking died and we lost like 4 guys or something, which a lot of them are probably embellished, but you know. The monks of England, trying to make the Vikings sound as scary as possible would have you believe that that probably actually happened. So I don't know, maybe it did from time to time. Katie Cat says, you know, TJ, you would think they would teach people how not to do that, but apparently not. Yeah. It's always like troublesome brothers. They're just always running into bladed weapons. I mean, it's since time immemorial, it seems like. After the council meeting, Marshal Hroffen asked me to exchange a few words in private. Apparently, he has uncovered a rumor concerning a rare artifact. Hroffen believed there was some truth to the rumor and urged me to have a search arranged. Let's do it. Let's find some artifacts. Gain the Viking trait. Seems a little late for that. I think I was already a Viking by the time this start date rolled around. But it's good to be recognized as a Viking, finally. Underfunded sheriffs. I know, we're gonna be back. We're gonna pay everybody. Just chill out. The Anglesey Peasant Revolt. there's 1,100. It's not great to be the chief of Gwynedd right now, because there's a gigantic peasant revolt on Anglesey. They don't really have any boats, I don't think, to go deal with that, and you know, Herfethulad is being raided by Vikings. And we didn't get to the church, but that's alright. Our slow grinding down of Catholic moral authority will have to wait for later. Making steady progress in search for the artifact, that's great. There we go, we're in the red again. We've paid off our armor. Oh, let's see. Gotta give it to the Welsh, says Lambert. Even though they have no chance, they just keep coming. That bravery can be admired for sure. He also says, and that's why my son's an only child. Yeah, you don't want to cause weird gavel kind drama. I think that's a good. No chance of accidents. Katie Cat says, you'd be proud of me. This guy in another Discord was going on about glories of Rome, and I was like, yes, except for 90% of what was Roman was not Roman but stolen. Everybody knows that I am whatever the opposite of a stan is for the Roman Empire. Hashtag Rome ruined everything. Let's see. All right. No mass conversions yet, which is good. Which that's going to make it harder to whittle down the Catholic moral authority. So, just re-raising our troops here, so we can continue our raiding happily. Getting pretty close to that 700 prestige that we need to get the prepared invasion of Scotland. Let's see. Raid. Get on the boats. Alright. Riches. Where can they be found? England and Germany are going to be dangerous targets right now, but maybe Shelland, or does it... Okay, that belongs to Germany now. It either started that way or he won it from Upper Lorraine, which is now a German tributary. So Germany's getting kind of scary. Hungarians are still pagan. That's good. Danes are still pagan. Still just that one province. Oh shit. At some point. Oh no, wait. That they were never pagan. Never mind. Forgot. Important decision. I'm not going to search for a smith right now. If we decide we want a crown later, we'll grab one. Okay, let's look a little further afield. There's a very rich province of Santiago right here. Kingdom of Leon. Intel tells me he can summon 4,000 troops. That might not be the best idea. Navarra, though. 2,000. We might be able to deal with that. He's got a terrible budget deficit, too, so... Let's go, let's do some raiding in Navarra. Let's see. How long do you think they'll keep supporting CK2? I don't know, honestly. I keep predicting the end of CK2 and I'm almost always wrong. We're gonna raise our kids in the struggle. Because obviously... oh! Somebody's trying to kill him. It's my nephew, because he probably is worried that he'll lose the airship. So I'm gonna tell him don't do that. Don't kill your cousin. Come on, don't kill your cousin. Do I really have to tell you this? He's like, didn't you kill your brother? Hey, that was... you can't prove that. There must be some way to force open the defenses of Navarra. With control over both land and sea, I have a distinct advantage over the defenders of this fortress. I only need to think of a good idea. So we can do a full assault from land and sea to crack their defenses. To reduce their numbers and morale using our military skill, which is pretty high. Yeah, let's do it. With attackers coming from both land and sea, the defenders of Navarra are unable to divide their attention between our assaults. My raiders are able to slip through their palisades and kill many of them before being repelled. Fantastic. Oh, yeah, unpausing the game. I'm not going to do speed 5, by the way. I've kind of started to like Speed 4 a little bit more, just because it gives you more time to focus on like the individual stories of specific characters, which is what I like to do. Oh yes! Yes, because he conquered Stettin! That brilliant bastard! Alright, the Jomsvikings, which, by the way, a lot of people have asked me, like, TJ, if I want to read the sagas, where do I start? Saga of the Jomsvikings is absolutely one of the coolest ones. The saga, it's a really fun read if you're just looking for some like Viking adventure shit. Saga of the Jomsvikings is definitely up there. So a band of fierce Vikings have established a warrior brotherhood in Stettin along the Baltic coast, based in a castle known as Jomsborg. These Jomsvikings are devoted to Thor, Odin, and the other Norse gods. So they weren't directly analogous to a Christian holy order, but I can see why Paradox chose to present them that way. It does kind of... I mean, it's probably the closest thing that the Norse faith had to a holy order in this time period. So I think it's fairly legit. Brook no quarter on the battlefield and will permit only the strongest and ablest warriors amongst their number. Though there are those who would dismiss them as simple brigands, the Jomsvikings have vowed to defend all Norse lands being encroached by Christendom or other foreign religions. Their place in Valhalla is assured. So, if we do get into a holy war, we can now call on the Jomsvikings, 2,500 men, mostly heavy infantry, so that's pretty good. That's a pretty good option to have on our side. Let's see. Duke of Bad Decision says, I think they added several new military events with Iron Century. I know I've seen several new siege and looting events in my Carmation campaign. Yeah, I haven't seen that assault one before, so that could be new. Let's see. Yeah, Lambert said he hadn't seen it before. Catching up with chat here real quick. Poking fun at EU4. Katie Cat says, oh yeah, Navarra still has land in this game. Yeah, Navarra kind of got screwed by the EU4 time period. Let's see. There were some novels as far as I know. There's none with Shield Maidens, TJ. Are you talking about relating to the Jomsvikings specifically? Because I don't know if the Saga of the Jomsvikings actually features Shield Maidens. I'm trying to remember. It's actually been a long time since I read it. I read most of the Icelandic sagas in college, and some of them I haven't read since college, so that might be a cool thing for the channel. Let me know in the comments if you think it'd be interesting to do like a read through of the Norse sagas as something for the channel. Things quickly get out of control. Yeah, let's go ahead and plunder. Oh, we lost 200 prestige for plundering. That was not exactly productive because we're trying to get prestige for our prepared invasion, but at least it made us some cash. Lambert says hell yeah. reading the sagas. That would be a really fun way to introduce some non-gaming stuff. Pirates have been marauding in increasing numbers all along the coast of Norway recently. This is accurate. This is definitely something that happened during the Viking Age. Even after Norway was nominally united under a king, there was still a lot of piracy going on. I mean, the way that the Norse sources use the term Viking, they normally were not referring to, like, a sea king going out and doing shit like this. I mean, that would be a sea king. The people who were actually called Vikings or Viking are by the Norse sources were basically like pirates. They were basically bandits that just sailed around making trouble. And in a lot of sagas, they're actually the bad guys. They're not held in super high esteem a lot of the time. The name Viking Age kind of came to encompass a lot of other stuff, like the Great Heathen Army that, you know, they wouldn't necessarily have thought of themselves as Vikings at the time. Let's see, there's a rumor among the common folk that the pirates are being aided by Danish agents. Gorm. I got my eye on you, Gorm. Better not be messing around. Not gonna have it. Alright. Must send a letter to the Danish king to find out if so. Marshal Hroffen is making steady progress in the search for the artifact. Let's see. Duke of Bad Decision says I'll second that for reading the sagas. Lambert says the way I usually read is via Audible, so having you read for me is pretty much the same deal. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about like actually reading them on camera. I was thinking more like a book club thing, but that's a possibility too. What is King Otto of Germany doing here? Vestfolder Conquest of Dithmarschen. Okay, so my nephew got himself into some shit trying to conquer Dithmarschen, and it's not going to go well for him. Katie Cat says, I like that idea, TJ, but you would not be able to claim AdSense due to the copyright, probably. I'm not sure, because I don't think... these sagas were written in the 1300s. Specific translations of them might be copyrighted, so... I guess the solution is I just need to read them all in medieval Icelandic, and you guys can, you guys are going to have to learn medieval Icelandic if you want to actually be able to understand the video. I mean, that's just how we're going to have to do it. I'm just telling you ahead of time. Doesn't mean people won't cause trouble with copyright bullshit. Yeah. Do your own translation, says you're all Stefan. That's a possibility. Actually, Dr. Jackson Crawford, who runs the Scandinavian Studies Department at CU, he has a YouTube channel about the Old Norse language that's pretty awesome. Lives like 20 minutes from here, so maybe I can just ask him if I can use his translation. King Eriker, I must say I do not approve of the tone in your last letter. You know what, Gorm? I don't approve of you funding fucking pirates to come raid my shit. Alright? Maybe I don't approve of that, Gorm. Alright? Accusing others and try to obscure your own failings and keeping your realm safe. Yeah. We're gonna duel this guy. 64 years old, thinks he's hot shit or something. Socializer. Yeah. Well, you're talking, I'm out fighting. Let's see. Looking like a cruel leader. This ragtag jester is hiding something. Fully convinced. Declared the Danish-Prussian subjugation. Okay, so he's gonna go conquer the Pruthenians because he's mad. You're quite right that I've erred in my ways. However, after pondering my faults and considering what a Viking you are, I guess he's using Viking as an adjective and a noun here. I'm now fully committed to seeing you prosper and to preserve our good relationship. I convey to you my sincere and humble apologies. That's right. That's right, Gorm. Still got my eye on you. Don't forget it. With the great respect and admiration, King Gorm of Denmark. All right, we're good. We're cool. We're cool. At this point, we're cool. You know, I'll let bygones be bygones. Just don't do it again. Go conquer Wolgast and Neumark or whatever. You know, start expanding the Scandinavian sphere of influence across the Baltic, and we'll be cool. You know, I've got a Scotland to conquer. You know, I'm working on that. That's kind of my thing right now. So you do your thing. Let's see. Mecha Reaper says some people raise sheep. Those are called shepherds. Some people raise Irish monastery. Those are called Vikinger. Yeah. Lambert, the channel name is The Loresworn Order. So it's youtube.com/The Loresworn Order. It's the same as the Twitch channel except with a the in front of it. Hashtag fucking Gorm. Yeah. Always with the cowboy hat and rugged wilderness. Jarl Steffen's talking about Jackson Crawford. Yeah, he's like a Norse cowboy. He's a cool dude. Let's see. The Vikingest of Vikings. Katie Cat says, I feel like that message was delivered with a knife to the throat. I wouldn't be surprised if, probably not a knife, but an axe. If Erik just was like, hey, you know, you can apologize to me in front of all these people, or you can get the Blood Eagle. I mean, it doesn't seem like a hard choice to me, but yeah. Also, I'm banging your daughter, so who's really in charge here? Just gonna come out and say it. All right. Defensive Pact opposing Basileus Romanos has disbanded. He must have conquered some more land in Sicily or something if there was a defensive pact opposing him. I'd love to see a strong Byzantine Empire. I think things get really interesting when the Byzantines are strong. If anybody's wondering why I have not been using my event troops to raid, it's because they don't replenish. So I want to keep them at full strength until we actually have a war where we need them. It's not worth wasting them on raiding. Let's see. Oh, the Norse professor is the channel Lambert was asking about. It's just called Dr. Jackson Crawford, I think. Not our channel. Yeah, I think Katie Cat posted a link in chat. I don't know if it's to our channel or to Jackson's channel, but yeah, just look up Jackson Crawford on YouTube. He's a badass. Did they win their war or whatever they were doing over here? I don't know. Oh, they must have been. They were pulling some stuff up here. Hey, Curonia! I miss you guys, kind of. That save file's an absolute disaster right now, but I do miss Curonia. Gorm passed away. All right, so Harald Bluetooth, who was historically the guy credited with uniting Denmark, is now King of Denmark. Probably the most famous early medieval Danish king, I would say. He was the leader for the Danish civilization in Civilization 5, so you know you're a big deal if you make it into Civ.